Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today's a bit of a special episode where I wanted to try something a bit different. If you read the description of the last episode, I mentioned that I kind of wanted to do something a little bit special for this video. So for this video, I wanted to make a VTuber model. I've always wanted to try making a VTuber model before, but was always intimidated by like the process, the rigging and everything. And just in general, just like trying out something new. So like learning a new skill and like learning a new program. This is like my first step into live 2D and like live 2D rigging. And since I only had 2 weeks to kind of like work on it and like make this video, I wanted to try to challenge myself and try to make the whole process in like 1 week. Day one. This is day one of my process. So for the first day, I kind of wanted to start off with like the design. I don't really draw guys. I've drawn a couple of guys before in the past. I don't really like drawing guys. It's just not what I'm into. So for my VTuber model, I also decided to not make like a male VTuber model. At first, I kind of wanted like a male kind of looking one, but then after that, I just went to my normal art where I don't draw guys. For every single like one, I kind of wanted to try to change like 1 or 2 extra things for my drawings. Over here, you can kind of see I tried longer hair, and then like over here, I have like the skirt and stuff, and then over here, you see the hairstyle changed and like the ears changed. After this, I kind of just took the pieces that I liked and then kind of merged them together. So I liked one from like this one, I'll just merge it together and like put it into the next one. So here, over here, we have the same thing. Over here, we have different little color schemes. I took the ones that I liked over here, and I took them over here and put down like the base colors. And with the base colors, and then out of those ones, I kind of like took those and then picked the ones I like and tried out different hairstyles. And then finally, over here is like the design I chose. I actually do like the other ones. Like, I do like the hairstyles of this one. So I might try to draw it like in the future. But honestly, for now, I just wanted to make one model. I wanted to make one model that like had like a couple expressions and like that was just usable and like worked. So on day 2, I wanted to start off with like the line art. Separating your layers is really important, and it really helps later on. It'll just save you more time later on. And like when I started, I didn't really watch any tutorials. I watched like 2 tutorials and like cutting it, and like it wasn't enough. So you can kind of see. And like with the eyes and like the mouth, you really want like another tutorial there too. This is like one of the most important parts for like rigging like a VTuber model, and the way you draw is like a lot different than compared to like illustrating art. Don't listen to me, don't watch my tutorial, just listen to other people. They'll have a better way of like explaining things. My model actually, like when I did the line art, it wasn't even centered. You can see. So please make sure your symmetry ruler is in the center. Make sure your model is in the center. It'll just help out a lot later. Don't be like me. Don't be dumb. So over here, this is the rendering. So you only want to use like normal mode, like multiply layers. You don't want to have anything other than that, or live 2D won't be able to read it properly. So keep that in mind. Don't use anything crazy. Don't use like all these other fancy ones. Just use multiply, like normal layers. Keep everything in folders. Keep everything named. You can split things off. So like if you want like left and right, that's also very important. If you want to have a more dynamic rig, I kind of have some things like that, but I don't. If you want to have it more dynamic, separate all your things. So like this would be in one folder, and this would be in another. For live 2D, it's reversed. So this would be left. It'd be the character's left, not your left. Oh yeah. This is another thing I messed up with. You see here, I have like a bunch of color layers. So like I had it like this before. It was a little washed out. I didn't like the colors, and I add some tone curves like I always do. Do not do this in this phase, or you will have more work for yourself. Like I watched a couple of tutorials and like nobody warned me about like not having these crazy color correction layers from Clip Studio. So when I actually went and like rigged the model, everything was messed up. So that's why I found like I really want you to like make sure when you're like coloring like this one, that these are the colors you want, and like you don't want to change them. So like put your color correction layers on this face, and then over here it should be what you want. And over here you just make sure everything is cut. So like everything should be separated in like different folders. Another thing, when you're doing like shadows and stuff, make sure you fully draw everything. So you want this to be filled too. Make sure it's filled. So like I'm not gonna do it properly, but I'm just gonna show you, yes, like that. Over here is the same thing. Like look at this. You don't want to do what I did over here, or you'll just be in like pain. Like over here, you want to extend it up. I didn't do it at first, so I had to like go back in the file and like redo it. I'll show you. I think this is still my original file, so you can kind of see. Look at this. Don't do this. Make sure this is like actually filled out. So learn from my mistakes and don't do this kind of stuff when you start. Another thing too, if you have holes, you don't want holes in your drawing. So like what you can do is, what you can do is make a new layer, and with red or any other kind of like high contrast color, you can kind of zoom in and look for specks right here. Red. This also works for like illustrations too. So like if you're drawing something and like you have holes, this is a good idea. So see here, I have holes, and you do not want holes for your models. Please fill these up. Please don't learn from me, like learn from my mistakes. I kind of wish this video came out so like people could learn from my mistakes. You can see here, I filled it in, but on this side, for some reason, I didn't. Make sure you fill all these in. This too, I had to fix my hands later. Not that they're any good in the first place, and like stuff like this. This is going out too far, so make sure it's cleaned up. You know what I mean. Over here, you can kind of see it too, like just everywhere. There's like little dots and like red areas. So all of those you want to fix up. And yeah, you can ignore that part. I don't draw shoes. Hello and welcome. This is not exactly Clip Studio. This is Live 2D. I got like model. I have the PSD. When you export it, you want to export it as a PSD. The only actual file that Live 2D accepts. I don't really have like the original files. Like this is just like the final one that I worked on, so I can't really show you through all the steps that I went through. But for day 4, basically all I did is I started like messing around with the program. Like I kind of tried to get used to it. I like watched the video. I'll try to put it on a screen. Like I basically watched this entire playlist, like start to finish, try to follow as much as I could, and like I basically used that to like break my character. So to start, you can kind of see over here, this is what I did for day 1. I know it doesn't look like amazing. This took like an obscene amount of time. I think it took like 4 or like 6 hours just to do this one eye blink in Live 2D. It was honestly such a pain, but like because I was following the tutorial, I was able to get through it. I'm not really good at explaining. I don't think this is like my forte. I'm not gonna try to like talk about stuff that I don't really know about. So like I just kind of want to go over like the process of what I did. So you only really work on one eye. I chose like the right eye. You can work on the left if you really want to. And then I just followed along with the video. So you want to make it look like you're animating. So basically like every single thing that you do, you have like keyframes. These are like over here, you have like 3 keyframes, or you usually would have 1 or 2. Basically what you want to do is you have like the first one, the starting one, and then you have the ending one. So your ending one is like where you want your eye to end off in, and this one is where you want your where your eye will start off with. And like to do that, you just kind of transform everything. So like I feel like rigging is like not really like drawing, it's more like transforming or like liquefying stuff. So like you'd move things into place like this. If you wanted one thing to move, you just like liquefy it down. So like that's basically what I did. And for all the layers. So, and like the way I did it was kind of dumb. I feel like there's a better way, but like I kind of hid everything under where my eye is. So I don't think this is like really good. And like this is not a good practice. I think it just kind of squishes the eye instead of like actually doing it. I feel like if you actually just wanted to do it yourself, you would have like an eye on top and then you'd use that to cover everything. But I didn't really have that because I messed up my layers. So instead it works like this, where it just kind of like squishes the eye down, or like the pupil, and then it closes it. And then like it hides it with a thing. It actually like doesn't do anything besides like hide it. So that's actually how I did the eye rig. It looked okay. I think it looks okay. And then over here too, like I got this moving like the eyes. So this is like the positioning for the eyes. You also only have to do it for like one side, and then you can like mirror it. So kind of see over here, I'm like looking to the right, and then like this too, like is that the pupil? Yeah, the pupil follows along a little bit. And that kind of just adds, you know, like a little bit more motion. There's some other things like adding physics, but honestly, I didn't add like any physics to my drawing. Like all of this was already enough work, and like physics are just like way too dang for me right now. You look over here, eyebrows. These are actually not that hard. Like after doing the eyes, these kind of came pretty easily. So one kind of moves it up to down. This one moves it, the other one up and down, and like you just mirrored it. So, you know. And this one like kind of changes like the angle, so but that's what Live 2D is. So it's kind of like it just moves down, so you can kind of have like a different expression. And then if you have it up, kind of curves it up, so like when you're smiling, it'll be curved up. This is like the same where it moves down, and that's basically what I did for that. After that, I had to start working on this. Honestly, you should just like look up like a guide, look up a video, and then if you have it up, it like kind of curves it up, so like when you're smiling and stuff, it'll be curved up. This is like the same where it moves down. It kind of looks like a wing or something, I don't know. And that's basically what I did for that. That was day 2. Or not, actually that wasn't day 2. That was like, or that was day 5. And it wasn't like even the end. After that I had to start working on this. The mouth. Oh my god, the mouth. I don't even know how to explain how to do the mouth. Honestly, you should just like look up like a guide, look up a video, over here, like even here you can see where it kind of messes up, and like I can't fix that myself because I'm not that good. But you want to try to make it as clean as possible, so like every expression and like every pose that you do, so even there, like I got like a little speck on this little area. I'll fix that. You don't want that, so make sure when you're working on it, you fix everything. So that's the mouth. Day 6. All right, for day 6 I started working on the head angles. For doing head angles, like I'm used to like drawing characters and like drawing heads, but like drawing them in like 3D and like you're not really drawing them and you're more like liquefying things into place, it was really difficult for me. So like you kind of see here around like my corners and stuff, it looks super wonky. Like she's not looking right. Over here, over here, over here, it's a mess. This thing is like such a mess, but I feel like I still gotta show it to you guys. You kind of see like when the head turns or the ear, it moves behind. When you're doing these rigs, they're not really like, you're not really like drawing these corners. You like, you liquefy everything into place. Like for this one, this like shocked me when I first tried it out. I was like, huh, really? This is how people make models? You grab this, or like you grab these little points and then you just move them around. I mean, that was just like insane. You're really gonna do that for everything? Like you liquefy everything into place, and that's how you do your 3/4 view and stuff? When I first saw that, I was like mind blown. I was like, wow, live 2D models aren't even like 3D. They're like actually just like moved to look 3D. Like I kind of understood that when people talked about it, but like when I actually did it myself, it was like, it's insane to me. Make sure when you're doing the head turn, you grab a lot of references. I had like 1 or 2 references that I liked that like had all the head turns, and like I just used like a normal one, but honestly I think it'd be easier if you grab like a live 2D reference, so like someone actually rigging it so you can get all the angles right, or like whatever you like. Going along with the tutorial, it really helped too. I feel like I was guided through, like I was being handheld on like the process. For the final day, I kind of had like a lot of time, so I kind of did everything. So or like over there I like rigged the head and stuff, and over here I kind of like tried wiggling the hair, and here for the body you can kind of see what I did. I just kind of moved it a bit, so like it like wiggles a tiny bit. You can even see here how messed up it is. I really couldn't get these to work properly because I didn't draw it properly. I should have drawn the back of these like socks, but instead I'm stuck with this. You can kind of see as it turns, it just like messes up and like deforms. Even like the ribbons look kind of janky. The shoes too. I never draw shoes, so like that was rough for me as well. For the body, I just kind of did like a kind of wiggle, small wiggle. I really struggle with the skirt as well. Like I don't know how you're supposed to, like when you turn on a skirt, it was really hard to kind of think about and like figure out. And like all together, this is like what it kind of came out towards. And then after that, so over here is, let's say you're doing a new texture. I think they told me like 4K like is what you want to do when you like make your texture atlas. They told me this in the video, and like I was like, oh okay, I got it. Nothing's overlapping, but like actually things were overlapping. Like if you look closely, like nothing should be overlapped. This little hair piece is actually like touching this just barely. And when you do that, like, and if you don't have this properly set up, where it's like actually not touching anything, and like the auto one is okay, right? Like it does most of the things, but for me, when I had it, this was right on top of like another piece of, and like when that happened, and like when I actually exported my model out, I had like a little strand of hair and I couldn't figure out what was happening. I was like, why is my model not working properly? It was because my texture atlas was messed up. So when you have it like this, make sure everything is separated. That is like my like final advice for like new people in Live 2D. I can't give you advice on Live 2D because, you know, I'm still a beginner, and I messed up so much. I probably like fell into like so many error screens than like any other person who started this program. And then you just export it. And then after this, I finally went into like Live 2D, or VTuber Studio is like I think it's a free application. I think it's what most people are using. And I tested out the model. And then when I did it in that, nothing worked, okay? Half of my parameters stopped working. So redo it basically in like Live 2D. Like I think my parameters were like messed up. My like physics were in like the wrong area. Everything was broken. My eyes weren't looking like left and right. My head was not turning left and right. And it was like only tilting. I had to go back and forth in Live 2D, and then back and forth in a VTuber Studio, and just like check things out and like test them out. Even now I just saw like a little like something messed up right there, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that after I finish recording this. I'm really glad that was day 7. I'm really glad I got everything done, finished, and like sorted out, and like I actually had like something finished by the end of the week. I was really scared like when I kind of started that like I wouldn't have anything done to show for the week, so I'm really glad that this turned out okay. I don't think it's like the best model out there for sure, but you know, I'm really proud of what I kind of did and like what I learned. There you go. That's what I did for the week. You know, here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you've been like sticking around, here's the final model. So I know this is like a bit of a more different like video than usual, like, and like you can kind of see here, like I'm still like looking at the model and like trying to test things out. So right now it's just like tracking my mouse. I wanted to have it tracking like my face or whatever and like my facial expressions, but honestly, my setup is like super janky for it. Like I don't know where to place my phone for like a webcam, and like even like now I don't even know if like the model suits my voice, but I gotta use it anyway because I made it and I worked hard on it and I think it looks cute. I did work on some stuff like this week, even though I really wanted to work on the model. I still did like some more illustrations like in between. I was like, I need like breaks. I needed breaks to draw in between like when I was doing live 2D rigging and stuff. So I'm just gonna show off quickly. I still feel like it's like part of the video. Over here, I went back on a sketch that I did and I colored it in a bit. I did like more line studies and then like added circles. So, you know, line studies, always gotta do those. Over here's the same thing. I did on like horizontally and then like vertically. I didn't want to leave without having like a drawing done. Very kind of feels awkward. Even though like doing the characters are kind of like drawings, but like they're not the same, I don't think. Over here, another like little sketch. Over here, I did more line studies. These like pressure ones, you can kind of see. Over here, I actually did this one on stream, so recently I've been streaming like a little drawing of my vampire Miku. Very cute, right? Well, like Miku's always cute, but you know, this drawing, and then I have like one more. It's like a birthday gift for somebody on Twitch that you should probably go follow because they're much better at drawing than me. Maybe stop by on Twitch, kind of see what I'm up to. I'm gonna try streaming a bit more, or just to try it out. I'm not really used to streaming. Ever since I started making these videos, I kind of wanted to like, I don't know, show more of the behind the scenes. So like, if you want to see me actually drawing live, you can maybe pop on my Twitch, see if I'm live, and say hello or something. Thank you for the support. I got like a lot more views on the last video, and I got a lot more comments. So and like I read all the comments now, like every single one. I had like maybe 20 viewers on like all my other videos, but this one kind of blew up a little bit, at least for me. So it was really nice like reading all the comments. Stick around. Hopefully you stick around. I'm probably gonna keep trying to make a video every 2 weeks. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you again in another week in another video. Bye bye.